Here you are in charge. You should be in charge. It's your life, it's your mind. Take control. Decide. This will prevent a lot of problems with your friends and family. That's an incredible treasure. Having the secret of what happiness is and how to achieve it. That's a treasure, right? Being in control of yourself, choosing your own mood and happiness regardless of whether you're poor or rich, alone or accompanied, old or young, sick or healthy, whether your team won or lost, right? It's the most powerful thing that can exist. Everyone out there is competing for something, right? To have something, almost always an object, a person that they can use as a lever to feel good, right? But that person who achieves it without having to resort to anything, what does that mean? Unconditionally, without that condition. That's the treasure. That's an incredible treasure, right? If you had something like Aladdin's lamp, from a genie that you could rub, give me 3 wishes, right? How much would you pay for that? Right? Beautiful. But according to the Buddha's teachings, having the wisdom to know how to be happy is more powerful because you don't depend on that thing. That thing will go away sooner or later. Everything is impermanent. Everything that is composed will decompose. Nowadays I see in many interviews that people are willing to pay 100,000 euros to sit down and have dinner with a multimillionaire, right? If I can share a meal, a dinner with this person and with a few pieces of advice that he gives me in that hour together, that is a treasure. I save myself so much experimentation, so much study, so much effort. They see it as a prize. I would pay 200,000 euros, 1 million euros to know that this person gives me some advice, right? And that, right? In the best case scenario, right? It will give you the power to make money in the stock market, in the market, right? That's all, right? What does it give you? Well, as we would say, economic freedom for 20 or 30 years of your life. Then you might have to get sick, you might have to deal with people who are jealous of you, you might have to grow old, you might have to face death, and most of them are not happy, even though they have financial freedom, right? So if we do a survey in the world, it's Aladdin's lamp. That's it, right? Turning to a person who is a genius in the business world, who can give us the secret that we have to work hard for 10 years to get it, but at least we have the formula to become millionaires, right? And that comes with so many hidden debts, right? So many fines, so many taxes, right? So it's a great, great treasure to have the secret of what happiness is and how to achieve it. The secret in this case, okay? To this 4th stanza, how to heal yourself, how to eliminate your faults, how to stop hurting ourselves, how to be our best version, right? It's so powerful. So, there's no way to randomly stumble upon this secret. There is no way we can stumble upon this wisdom that helps us heal, improve, evolve, and be our own masters. And happiness has to come from someone very, very healthy. We have to put a lot of effort into receiving that communication, that teaching, those keys, and then implementing that medicine in ourselves. We are not actively participating in our lives. We are consumers. We are waiting for something to come along. So, we are at the mercy of circumstances. And if a good time comes, we feel good. If a bad time comes, we feel bad. If someone loves us, we feel good. If someone criticizes us, we feel bad. And we have no voice or vote of our own. We have given it up, right? We do not have our hands on the wheel. And I know I said it in the last course, but it is hard to recognize it because we are so used to this modus operandi, right? For so long, right? Surrendered, subjugated by circumstances that we do not think it is strange, we do not think that there is another way to function in the world, right? So it's very important to take back control of our life, take back control of our mind, take back control of our mood and make choices. You're the boss here, you should be the boss. It's your life, it's your mind. Take control, decide. And how we decide is a game of influence, right? What do you associate with? What do you let into your life? What do you let into your mind? What do you pay attention to? What do you consider? What do you value? Don't let fashion define it for you. Don't let others define it for you. You choose what's good, what's going to be good for you tomorrow. Not the vices and the whims and the cravings of today, but what's going to be good for you in 10 years. Invest in the person you want to be in 10 or 20 years. And if you're a Buddhist, the next life. Long-term planning. That's very important. That's going to prevent a lot of problems with your friends and family. Don't try to convince others, right? Be very careful with what you share. There are things that simply cannot be appreciated until we have a certain level of awareness. Let me give you an example, something that is as familiar to a Buddhist as the law of karma. The law of karma means that everything we push through our body, our voice, even our attitudes and thoughts, conditions us, defines us, and also defines our future, how we behave in the future, our environment, what we attract into our lives, the people we establish relationships with, and so on. It is not destiny. Karma is not rigid, it is not written in stone, It is simply everything that you think, everything that you say, everything that you do, everything that I just mentioned, defines you. If it falls into a fundamentalist mindset, it will say, oh, destiny. I say, no, no, it's not destiny, right? Karma is not destiny, it's energy. You can increase that tendency, reduce it, cancel it, you can transmute it, everything is possible. It's energy, it's movement, it's what you drive in your life, in the world. Ah, destiny. But if this same teaching about karma is heard by someone with an individualistic mind, pure secular reasoning, right? I mean, who has the paradigm of scientific materialism, where there is no mind, there is no consciousness. He says, yes, karma is correct in the sense that every cause has its effect, but we live in a material universe. This moral dimension of my intentions, that has nothing to do with what's going to happen in the future. What my intentions really do not affect at all what's going to happen in the world and in my life, right? They cancel out everything that is mental influence, everything that is intention, everything that is morality, right? And no matter how you explain it to them, they're going to come to that conclusion. Mind is brain, right? Every mental event is produced by interactions in neurons, because that is their philosophy, that is their paradigm, that is their level of consciousness. Do you understand? So, talking about karma is going to tell you, this is very fanciful. This is a way to inspire people who have poor intellectual capacity, right? To give them encouragement and hope when we know that the world is all predefined by genes and so on. Does that make sense? So, the level of consciousness that we have determines which teachings we are going to approach, what our affinity is going to be, what we are going to appreciate, interest in, and what we are going to be able to understand and recognize, right? It's very interesting. For a spiritual practitioner, we have to get the words comfortable, uncomfortable out of our vocabulary. The words I don't like. It's like medicine. If the medicine suits me, it doesn't matter. If it's bitter, if it's fruitless, right? If it's medicine, if it suits me, if it heals, then it doesn't matter. So, the attitude is, and I hope this sounds very strong, very disturbing, right? And that you're thinking about this for 3 days, to take all of our demanding preferences, all of our whims and put them into a bag. Tie that bag and throw it out the window into the sea. Happiness is not solved by satisfying desires, it is solved by eliminating desires. Having more and better demands does not produce happiness. Having fewer and more demanding demands does bring us closer to happiness. Imagine the extreme case, a person who has many demands, many things that must be, they must treat me this way, my life must be this way, right? It is very difficult for everything to happen. Then we are guaranteeing misery, sadness, by having ridiculous demands, right? So, do not demand from the world, do not demand from other people, only demand from yourself. Only demand from yourself.